All right. So today we'll start talking about data management. Okay. And when we talk about data management, we are basically talking about dealing with multiple records, bulk records, right? So we have seen that in Salesforce, you can always go click on a record, edit it, delete it, create a new record, right? But it's always not the case that you deal with single records. A lot of times you will be required to work on multiple records.
Jeet, I can't see your screen.
You cannot see my screen
Yeah.
now.
Uh, yes, but it is stuck, I guess. In the screen is stuck.
Is it stuck?
Yeah.
Is it moving? Is it fine?
Yeah, it's moving, but I could see only the half of the page.
How about others?
I'm able to see the full screen.
Uh, will you just make it in a full screen mode? Your GoToMeeting window, Ashok. Have you done that?
I'm good too.
Yeah, sure.
See if that helps. Is it okay now?
Once I log out and log in again. Yeah.
Okay. Works. So we're going to talk about data management, right? So in data management, what we are primarily talking about is managing bulk data. Okay, so it's not always possible to go to individual record and update or create individual record, because that's too much of a time consuming thing. Let's say if you have a list of 1000 companies and you just want to create those 1000 companies in Salesforce, will you go and create one by one? No, because that's not the best approach. What you will do, you will do a bulk upload of the data. Okay, so this data management, we are going to basically talk about bulk data operations. Okay, so data management, we are going to talk about bulk data operations. What all operations are we talking about? We're talking about insert. Insert means putting records into the database. We're talking about export. Export means taking an export of the data from the database. So whatever data you have in Salesforce, if you just want to export that and take it out in an Excel spreadsheet or something, that's an export. Third is update. Ashok, I think your problem got resolved. Is it okay now?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Great. Okay. And it will be good if we can have the microphones also on mute. I'm getting a bit of noise. Okay. So then we have insert, we have export, we have update. Insert, export, update, and we have insert, export, update, and delete, bulk delete. Okay, deleting multiple records. All right. So these are the basic things that you primarily do in bulk data operation. There is one more operation which is called upsert, but I will talk about upsert a little later. Okay. All right. So, okay. So while we are talking about this data management thing or bulk data thing, we are in fact talking about two platforms. One will be my Salesforce, the other will be the Excel spreadsheet in which the data is being exported or from which the data is being inserted into the Salesforce database, right? So the logic is pretty simple. You have two things. So let's put it like this. So one will be your Salesforce and one will be your Excel spreadsheet. In Salesforce table will have its own fields, and your Excel spreadsheet will have its own fields. Okay, so this is your Excel and this is your Salesforce database table. Fine. So in all these operations we need these two things. Okay, so if we have to supply some data into Salesforce, what we'll have to do, we'll have to put the information here and then we'll have to supply this file here. If I have to export the data, then I'll have to go and instruct here and take out the data here. All right, so in all these cases these two files are involved, correct? So that is the thing. Now what do we need to do? Basically is pretty simple. We'll start with the insert thing. All that we need to do is we need to create a file, put all the records in the file, okay, and then we just need to insert those records here. Okay, while I'm inserting, all that I need to do is I need to map the correct fields. So if this field here is equivalent to this field, if this field here is equivalent to this field, or equivalent, or I should say data from this field will go into this, right? So you have to do the mapping because these are two different things. You have a database table in the Salesforce and then you have an Excel spreadsheet. So you can just map the fields. Once you have created this file, Excel file, all that you have to do is you just need to map the fields and put the data here into the Salesforce. Okay, so it's pretty simple. That was just for your understanding. Now let's go back and understand the process. So insert process is pretty simple. Put all data in an Excel spreadsheet. Save it as save it in CSV format. So there's a CSV format. You can save your Excel spreadsheet in CSV format. Okay, and then open data loader. Data loader is an application which we use for performing data operations. Okay, so you just need to open data loader, click on insert, browse the CSV file, map the fields, and finally map your fields, and finally start insert process. That's it. Put the data in an Excel spreadsheet, save it in .csv format, open data loader, open data loader. In data loader you have an insert option. Go to the insert option, browse the CSV file, map the fields, and you can start the insert process. Okay, so that's it. That's what needs to be done. Before we start our insert process, I'll just quickly ask you to download Data Loader. Data Loader is a standalone application and it needs to be downloaded, okay, and installed on your system. Who all are using Mac? Anyone who's using Mac?
Yeah, I'm using it.
Using a Mac, okay. Rest everyone is on a Windows computer, okay.
Yep.
So all those who are on Windows computer, you all that you need to do is go to Setup, Data Management, Data Loader, go and click on download the data loader for Windows, and people who are using the Mac, they can click on download the data loader for Mac. Okay, earlier this option was not there, but now they have introduced. Makes life easier for us. So for people who are using Mac,
Can
they
you
can
tell
just
me where I can find it one more time?
setup, data management, data loader. Setup, data management, data loader. People using Windows, select Windows here. People using Mac, select Mac here. Okay, it starts getting downloaded, and I think it will take a few minutes for this to get downloaded. So you can just start that in case you want to start that thing now. If you want to do it later, you can do that, no problem. I'm going to demonstrate it on my computer. Okay, once the download happens, then you just have to run the exe file to install the application. That's it. Okay, now let's get into how to use data loader. So once it is downloaded, you will be able to find data loader on your programs in the programs list. See, this is the kind of application which gets installed on your system, data loader. Okay, here it is. This is how it looks, and it has all those options which we just talked about: insert, update, upsert, delete, export. Same options, right? This is what we were just talking about. So if you plan to do insert using data loader, click on insert. If you want to update some records, then click on update. If you want to delete, click on delete, whatever you want to do. So for insert, just click on insert. It will ask you to put a username and password. This username password should be of your organization, of your Salesforce org. Arvind, since I'm using your org, can you just again give me the login ID? Password I think I have still in the chat window. Can you give me the login ID once again? Okay. We'll follow this process for doing insert, but before that, I'm just trying to show you how to log in into data loader. Okay. So you open data loader, and then if you plan to do insert or whatever you want to do, just click on that button. Now you put your username and put your password here.
Jeet, a question.
Mhm.
Will data loader accept only CSV files?
Yes. Click on login. Okay. The moment you put your login ID and password and you try to log in, it will throw you a login error. Okay. This login error is because your password is not wrong actually here, because it needs additional security token. Okay, so while you're logging into any of the standalone application, not just data loader, any other standalone application of Salesforce, you need a security token to be supplied along with the password. And where do we get the security token? You can generate the security token by going to your personal settings. So all that you need to do is go to my settings, personal reset my security token. So this is where the security token will be generated. Okay. See, when you are accessing Salesforce.com from outside of your company's trusted network, you must add a security token to your password to log in. Okay. Or when you are using Salesforce from a desktop client, data loader is a desktop client. It's installed on your desktop, right? So when you're using it from a desktop client such as Connect for Outlook, Connect Offline, Connect Office, Data Loader. For these things also you need the security token. So security token is pretty simple. All that you need to do is you just need to click on this button. It will generate a security token and send it to your email ID. Okay. Pretty similar to the password or verification passwords that you receive from your bank. Same ways. All right. So I'll just reset it. Now, Arvind, you will receive it.
All right, let me send it to you.
Okay. So all that you have to do is you have to combine the security token with the password. So if your password is uh, P123 and security token is whatever XYZ, then this is what you have to put. Okay, in place of password, you have to combine the password security token both. No gap, nothing. So this is the security token which has been received, and it looks like this. Okay, so pretty complex kind of an alphanumeric structure. Okay, so here is my password. Right after the password, paste the security token and try to log in. Yeah, this time your login completed successfully. Got it? So this is how we need to log in into the data loader. All right. Okay. Now my data loader login is done. Now let me, before I start getting into the next step, so the moment you click on next, it will ask you to browse the CSV file. It says choose your CSV file, right? So I should now go and prepare my CSV file, which I want to use for inserting the data. Let me just check if I have some file already ready. Okay, I have this file there, so I can use this for doing the import. I have this file and I have a few accounts here. IBM, Dell, Deloitte, Accenture, and I have these accounts. Right? This way you can have multiple. You can have 1,000. You can have 5,000. There's no problem. So what I need to do is now I want to insert all these records into Salesforce at once, right? Now it's important to note here that the field names here may be different from the field names in Salesforce. That's the reason why we are going to do the mapping. Okay. So in some systems, we do have the requirement to name the fields exactly the way they are in the database. Okay. But in Salesforce, you don't have that thing. You can name the fields whatever you want here, and they can be different from the field names in the Salesforce, right? But while starting the process, you'll have to map the fields. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
If the field names are same,
Then
will
also you'll have to
data
map
loader
it.
or okay,
It
it
can,
will not automatically recognize, is it?
no, it will recognize. I mean, there is an option of auto match. It will recognize, but you will have to go through that process and you will have to click on auto recognize. Okay. So field mapping stage will be there.
Okay.
Okay. So now all that we need to do is we just need to save it in CSV format. To save it in CSV format, let's say that that's your Excel spreadsheet. All that you need to do is just go to save as and save it in CSV comma delimited format. All right. Import file. That's it. Okay. Make sure the save as type is CSV comma delimited. Save. Close the file. Okay. So your file is closed. All right. Now, here on this screen, come back to your data loader, which you have already logged in. Or you have to select which object you want to put the data into. So, which object are we planning to put that data in?
That would be an account, right? From what we discussed earlier.
That is account. So, select account, right? Then go to browse the file. This is the file. Okay. Open. Go to next. It contains 4 records. Okay. Right. Now the field mapping has to be done. So for mapping the field, you just need to go ahead and click on create or edit a map. This is the mapping dialog. So in the mapping dialog, you have to map the fields. You have the option of trying an auto match if some fields can be automatically matched. Right now, none of the fields are matching automatically, so I'll have to do it manually. Okay. Company name is the account name here. Drag and put it here. Phone number is account phone, which should be here. Fax number. You can just type the initial letter and try to search. Like if I press P, I'll be able to search for P. If I press F, I'll be able to search for F. Okay. That way you search for it. Website. Have written web address. Okay. The fields are mapped. Yeah. Okay. Go to next. Now The next step, it's asking you for a directory. Okay, what is this? What does this mean? This means a place where you want to save the log files. Right. Now, why would I save the log files? Or and what is the log file? Log file means after running the process, the import process or the insert process, which all records were imported successfully and which were not imported, it will give you a complete details of that. Clear? So you will get two files, two log files after every insert process. One will be the success file, one will be the error file. Why is it important? It's important because if you are trying to import 10,000 records and out of that 10,000, let's say 200 records have error. 9,800 records successfully get inserted, but 200 records have error. Okay, and they cannot get inserted. Then you would definitely be interested in knowing which 200 were not inserted and what was the error, right? So for that reason, the log files are given. So here you just need to define location for your log files. You can create a directory and just browse that directory. It's just a location. Okay, so select the directory where your success and error files will be saved. That's fine. It's in
Can I
desktop.
know the kind of error?
Kind of error can be anything. If you're trying to put the wrong data into a field which is not allowed, instead of number you are putting text. If there is a
Okay.
validation rule which does not allow you to insert the data, it can be anything, right? So anything that is not accepted by Salesforce. All right. So it can be any error.
Okay.
Click on finish. You have chosen to insert new records. Click yes to begin. Do you want to proceed? Yes. Proceed. Okay. The operation has fully completed. There were 4 successful inserts and 0 errors. Okay. So now you can view the success and errors here only. You click on view success. This way you can see the successful inserts and errors. Actually, there were no errors. So that's fine. And these CSV files have also got stored in your log files directory. Okay. So if you just go and check in your log files, you will find that on my desktop there is this log files. Yes, see, these are the two files. 18th August, right? So this is the correct date. This one is error file is blank, null, there's nothing. Success file has all the records. All right, so you can always use these log files for your reference also. At a later point of time also, in case you just want to quickly check which all records were inserted last week, you can use your success log to check that okay, these records were created, okay, in case you just want to do a quick check. Correct. Okay, there's one small thing that you will need to see. How many fields did we insert? Company, web address, phone number, fax number. Did I insert ID? Was there an ID field in my file?
No.
How did it come here?
Yesterday we discussed about this, right? That Salesforce by default assigns a unique ID to each data record.
Okay. So basically what is happening is every time a record is getting created in Salesforce, Salesforce is generating an ID for that, right? And in your success file, it gives you those IDs also. Okay, which is which is again a useful thing, useful piece of information. Why, I will tell you while we start talking about some other operations in this. I'll talk about that. Okay, so this is how your insert operation works with a data loader. Tell me if you have any questions or doubts here. Easy, simple.
Yep.
Okay, so here is the thing. I think what we'll do is we'll just stop here for today. Uh, I want you to download the data loader, install it on your systems. Try to create a dummy kind of a file. Like I had 4 records. You try to create a slightly longer file. Okay, put whatever information and try to insert that, and try to do that at least for 2 objects. Okay, maybe account and contact, or make sure that you are supplying the value for the required field, otherwise the data will not get inserted, right? So I think someone was asking what kind of an error it can throw. It can throw an error if you have not supplied the required field. It can throw you an error if you have not supplied the values as per the correct data type of the field. Okay, if some validation rule is missing. So for that, if some validation rule is, throwing an error, so there can be a lot of errors. So try to, put the correct kind of information in the file and then perform the insert. All right. Okay. Just give me 1 minute. So let's not get into the attachment part right now. Just start with the data thing. I was just reading your question, Shiva. So let's not, get into that. Once you start understanding logic, nothing, you just will start understanding what is possible, what is not possible. Fine.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So let's get
I
into this.
actually, when I was working in my university, I had to create a custom application for doing this, so I was just curious.
That's fine. I mean, I can understand that part, but basically the point is that let's understand the logics and things. Whatever falls under logic will be we can be done. Whatever does not fall under logic cannot be done, right? So first of all, I would
Sure,
want you guys to understand the structure and the logics and everything.
sure,
Fine.
sure.
All right then. So that's it for today. I will be leaving a little early today. Just one quick thing before we